Hello everyone, welcome to the day 3 of Numpy for Beginners course. Today we will see how to create some special type of matrices. In the previous video, we have seen that how to create 2D arrays or how to create matrices. But now we'll see how to create some special type of matrices. Suppose you want to create a matrix which has only 0 or which is only 1 or which has only a specific element like 10, 20, 30, or it can be anything. But for zeros and ones, we have two separate functions. And first of all, it not only works with matrices, it also works with 1D arrays. But generally, we manipulate matrices with these methods, with these functions. Okay, so first of all, let's see how to create the 1D arrays by these functions. So array1 and np.array, array1 is the name of the array, and in this function, we have to pass the shape of the array. And for 1D array, we have to pass the number of elements of the array. Sorry, it's not array, it's 0 because we want a matrix where all elements are 0. So 0. Okay, so suppose in a 1D array, we have 3 elements. Okay, and we have to use a comma and then, sorry, this is zeros, not there is not e, and we have to print the array. Okay, so let's see that all elements are 0. Okay, similarly, if we change this to 10, so there will be 10 element where all elements are 0. And let's see that they're all data types are float because there is a decimal after each value, after each number, but we want to represent the matrix as an integer. So just simply add t type as int64. Sorry, we have to include with quotation int64. Okay, so now we can see that all elements are 0 now. So this method works with 2D matrix, 2D arrays, I mean matrices as well. Simply add to np.array, then you have to pass the shape. And here shape means number of rows, comma number of columns. So if we want a matrix with 3 rows and 2 columns, and we are creating 0, I mean the matrix with all elements are 0. So simply use the function zeros and print arrow at 2. Okay, so you can see that 3 rows and 2 columns. And similarly, you can use dtype as int64 to make them integer. Okay, so now we want to create a matrix where all elements are 1. So for this, the syntax will be same, but change the function name, which is ones. Okay, so please don't forget to add the s. This is s once, and there is also an s, also a s which is 0. And you can see that all elements are 1. You can change the shape, it's like suppose 6 comma 5. It's okay. Okay, so now we'll see how to create identity matrix, and especially in the mathematics curriculum, it's very important because matrix chapter is not complete without the identity matrix. So if you studied about matrix in your 12th or in your engineering curriculum, so you must know about the term identity matrix. In identity matrix, there is 1 in the principal diagonal, or more specifically left principal diagonal. So let's see how to create this identity matrix in NumPy. So the syntax is very similar. At first, and the name of the array, and then np.eye. Just remember the function name, and the syntax will be very similar. So this function name is eye. But here is a small difference. because in the previous we passed the shape, but here we will simply pass one value, because these identity matrix works only with the square matrices. I mean, in the matrices where the number of rows and number of columns are equal. So you have to pass only single values. Suppose we want a 3 cross 3 matrix, 3 cross 3 identity matrix, and if I print at 3, then you can see 1 1 1 in the left principal diagonal. But the problem is same, that these all are printed in float. Just change the type equals to int 64. So it depends on your machine, but it's more common that your machine supports int 64. If it doesn't support, you can use int 32 also. So now 100, 010 and 001. So now if we want to create a matrix which is consisting of a specific element like 1 0, but there are specific functions for only ones or for only zeros, but what for the other elements? So there is also a function which is full. Suppose add 5, then mp dot full, then we have to pass the shape which is supposed to be 4 comma 3, and the value you want to include in the matrix. Suppose it's 30, and here you don't need to specify the data type. Okay, because you are explicitly mentioning the value, so it's 30, not 30.0. Okay, so if we print at 5, then you can see a 4 into 3 matrix with all elements 30. Okay, so that's for today's video. Stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.